Yes, the PFA are back, and today we're here at Tocker Social with Laura Rafferty. Laura, how's it going?
Yeah, I'm good. It's off season at the minute, but still working hard, trying to get the pre-season in. So nice to get a little breakaway and come and chat with you. So
yeah, about to go into another WSL season.
Yeah.
Just to look back on the last few seasons, it's been a difficult time, come back from injury, move into a new team on loan. How was that experience and that journey for you?
Yeah, I think when I got injured from the off, I was very positive and optimistic about everything, kind of just get in the gym, do the rehab. I found a lot more challenges with that, a lot of mental battles that came with it. Felt like I was quite thick-skinned already. Turned out that I've had to grow even thicker skin.
Yeah, of course.
So the person I've become now is 10 times the person I was before, for sure. But I did have a lot of setbacks during that time. Then I made the loan move to Bristol. They were absolutely brilliant with me. Got my knee back ready working, and I'm ready fit to go for the next season. So I'm excited. Yeah.
And that is something that a lot of players go through, is how do you bounce back from that injury, both mentally and physically. But you learn so many lessons during that time. Yeah,
I think, when you're young, you just think football's just going to go like that. And the reality is that it doesn't do that. And I found myself in quite dark places. I'm not usually one to own up to negativity because I like to be very positive. I'm a positive person. But it is hard. It's not just the injuries, but it's people's opinions of you coming back from an injury, doubting you whether you're fit to go again. And for me, that's been a hard battle. So the transition was being in the gym, that was tough. And then I got out the gym, and then it was actually facing opinions of, can she still do this? And I've proved I can. I've now got back into the international setup, which is absolutely buzzing. We qualified for the Euros, and I just remember standing in the lineup, singing the national anthem, and I just looked at one chair in particular, and I just told myself, I was like, 2 years of this pain and hurt is going to be worth everything if we win this. And when we won it, everyone was cheering. I just laid on the floor, and I couldn't tell you what. Couldn't tell you anything that happened in the game, because it was just so much emotion, and I think it was just 2 years of full, and I just said to myself, this is why you do it. So it's filled me with a lot more, hope going forward as well, and I'm enjoying myself, and I'm feeling great. So
it's great to see that journey from, like you said, football seems to be a more open place for talking about not feeling great, mental health, not being in a good place, but for you to come from a position that isn't what anyone wants as a professional player to that moment, representing your country, qualifying for the Euros, it must be an incredible journey and experience.
It's so incredible, but it's one of them things you don't ever prepare for. And I speak to a lot of, I'm very passionate on young girls coming through the generation below us, and I was there, and all the way through training and playing, you just enjoy yourself and everything's going great, and you go back home to mum and dad, they make you dinner, and you don't learn how to transition properly. So all of a sudden I was living this high life, I felt great, my first professional contract, and then the injury happened, and it was like, wow, I've got no parents to go home to. I go back to a house full of footballers. How do I cope with that? I can't get away from football. I then can't even shower myself because I can't get in the shower or the bath. I can't drive anywhere. I've got no freedom. And it's the diet then becomes even more important. It's not just the stuff that people see in the gym. It's actually, for me, it was a lot more what people don't see that was hard. And then, I'm a very smiley person, so I'd go into training and I might not say something too much one day, and people automatically are going, oh, Raf, we need your energy, and I'm just like, I find it hard to give energy to someone if I don't have it myself. So it was very important, my team, the Athletic Network, I've got Akin, he heads up everything, and we got involved with a life coach as well. He's based out in America. He works with loads of NFL players, and something I've never done before, but I was very open to it. And we had a chat, and from then things started switching, and I was looking at positive lights. I was looking at how to honour a struggle. When you're going through tough times, how do you get the most out of that process? How do you switch, because the biggest thing that I ever learnt was you become very good at doing what you practice. So for me, I was constantly thinking of the bad things, what's next going to happen that's bad? Well, actually you flip the switch and you start practicing the positive things. Subconsciously it comes to you, you start automatically just going, okay, what's next that's good instead of what's next that's bad. So then I just flipped that switch, and it just was just one chat with one person that completely, the support around me did everything, but that conversation just went, okay, what's next that's positive instead of what's gonna make me struggle more.
Completely. And we are seeing that change of psychology in football being just as important as going to the gym, doing your S&C, doing your physio work. We're always encouraging members of the PFA to engage in a conversation, whether it's with a life coach or it's with counselling or just being open to psychology, but clearly that played a big part in your comeback.
Yeah, for sure. I think, your body doesn't work without your mind. And for me, it's such a simple phrase, but it's so true. And I think if you look at the top players that make it and they struggle with things, a lot of people have spoken to people because you get inside your own head, it's tough and it's very dark. So I would really just, say reach out, even if it's someone close to you, just so people know. But for me, I think people just rub it off like it's an injury. It's just an injury. Loads of people go through it. Everyone goes through it. Yeah, but how do you deal with it is, specific. It's completely different to the way someone else might deal with something less or something more. So it's important because we're all different people and we deal with things different ways. So.
And football's your profession. If you ask someone who's not in football, they can't go to work for 6 months.
Yeah, it's your purpose.
Everyone's going to struggle.
Yeah, so everyone, it's your purpose in life. Ever since I was 6 years old, all I've done is kick a football. You ask someone who's Laura Rafferty, the footballer. Yeah. It's not the girl with brown hair or the girl from Southampton. It's the footballer. And when that gets taken away from you, it's not just your work. It's your life. It's what people value you as. And for me, that was tough. People see you walking around on your crutches and things. We actually met, and I was on my crutches.
FIFA launch on your crutches,
I would have loved to have been introduced to you, and go and play, and I think that it's a lot to it, a lot more to it. And for me, you don't know when it might happen, and God forbid it ever does happen to people, but it does, and you just have to reach out to people for sure. Yeah.
No, I think that message of reaching out is really important. We were just speaking off camera, and I could tell how passionate you are about the next generation.
Yeah,
but what an exciting time to be in the WSL at the minute.
Yeah. I mean, I think looking back when I was younger, there was no professional career in football. So although that was your life, your purpose, I was working in a bank for 2 years as well, as a customer advisor, and then I'd drive to London, go training, get back at 12 o'clock and then go and work again the next day, and you do it because you love the game. Yeah. But now we have that opportunity that you can go and do what you love every day and show young females that we're paving a way now, and we're role models for these girls, and we don't even realise it half the time. We'll walk down the streets or in a game and there's these young girls or even some boys, they've got your names on the back of their shirts, and you just think this is what we're doing it, this is what we're doing it for, to make people happy is massive.
I had a really interesting moment that I've kind of kept thinking about. I was filming for the BBC and I was speaking to a young girl and I was like, who do you support? And she said a women's team. And it just clocks that when I was growing up, if you asked a girl who they support, it would always be a men's team. So now you've got a generation of young girls who aspire to be like you or aspire to be like someone in the WSL, and that's incredible.
It's crazy because, like I said, when we were kids, we never really had that. You had the out and out, the Kelly Smith, Kaz Carney, that I loved, and I was lucky enough to play with Kaz Carney, amazing. But now you've actually got these young girls coming through the platforms that probably will play with their idol at the time, or they've got someone to be like. If there's not much hope, they're lacking in balance of family life or where they're from, they've got hope. They see you're on TVs, they can see you on posters, you can see Nikita Paris on cereal boxes. They're there,
and the pathway's there. They can become professional players.
They can do that, and the thing in the women's game is I know a lot of women footballers that I know, they give you we just want to give that younger generation that time, because for us, we didn't have that. So, well, for me, I was very lucky to have the people around me in my path, but we didn't have that ambition to become a professional footballer, and that's how I talk about transition. how do you then transition to deal with injury, people's opinions, getting dropped, picked, not wanted, living away from home, living with team, like that, you don't learn that.
Yeah,
so for these young girls now, there needs to be something that gives them that transitional period that they can start to go, okay, instead of getting a shock like I did, and then it was like, what now? And it was only through the support that I had that I came out the right side.
It's definitely as important to focus on the non-glamorous road to professional football, just as it is celebrating being a professional footballer and the lifestyle that comes with that.
Yeah, I mean, I sit here and put my hands up. I love, social media for all the right reasons, because we all like to post that our lives are absolutely amazing, but there is reality is what comes up must come down too, and I've had my fair share. I like to think that I've got something very good coming around the corner for me, being very optimistic about it, but one thing that will always stick with me is that I will work so hard to get to where I want to be, and I'm not there yet, so I will continue that, and I just hope that the younger generation that watch this will take some advice from this conversation.
Well, let's focus on some of the ups because it's an exciting time for you.
Yeah.
Northern Ireland qualified for the Euros. What an achievement.
Yeah, so it's absolutely unbelievable. I missed obviously a lot of the campaign because of COVID. It actually went on a bit longer, which then meant that I could be available for the playoffs. So that's it balancing out. That's an up from the down. That's the thing. This is what I say. It does that. It will balance out for you. And I was in a boat where I went to Bristol and I got everything fixed and I felt really good and I wasn't quite getting selected for camp. And I'd have conversations with my manager and teammates. I say, what else do I need to be doing? And these were things that I didn't even think about, and I'd go and work on it, and then all of a sudden it was the playoff call up. And when I tell you I've never been so nervous in my life, I knew this email was coming through and it was either yes, no, or standby, and it came through and I was at my brother's house. And my brother's just not emotional in the slightest. And I was just on the sofa and I just started crying. I just didn't say anything to anyone. And he was like, are you okay?
Didn't know which way it went.
But I didn't tell anyone that the email was coming through because I knew that I wanted to tell people in the right way. Because this was Northern Ireland is my priority. My dad's from Belfast. My family live there.
Such an incredible feeling
home.
For them.
Yeah, I think people think because I don't have the Irish accent, they're like, you're not Northern Irish, but I am. Through and through. And so when that came through and it said I got selected, I just cried my eyes out. And then it got even better because I knew I might not get selected, so I didn't think I would play a part in it, But then in my head, I was like, no, I go there and I put on a show. I'll do what I do best, and I went there, and then I came on in the first playoff game, which I didn't think would happen, but I did, and I was a bit like, and then the second playoff game, which was the last one to go through or qualify. He was like, yeah, Raf's you're starting. And my world just literally went. And all of a sudden, these 2 years of not knowing how to get excited for a game because I haven't been a part of it was just it just brought everything back. And then
instantly fell in love with the game again.
And that's what I mean, the rush of emotions, it wasn't even just 90 minutes of emotion, it was years of emotion just come out. And then I just got on the phone to my mum, my dad after, and I just said this is why. This is the why to the question that I've asked for 2 years, And
all the difficult moments.
Yeah, for sure. And now we've got the motivation for all these young girls now that we've created a platform for these young girls in Northern Ireland that just want to play football now. They're seeing, and that's what I mean. When you see it, you can be it. Yeah. When you see it, you believe it. And all of a sudden, we've been over the news, we've been over newspapers, everything that. This is now a pathway that girls want to take, and over in Northern Ireland, that's massive.
And they're going to be at a major tournament.
I know, against the best. So obviously this year is a massive year for us because we've got girls that are playing part time. So it's about how us in the IFA, how are we going to help transition everyone to be in the right form when it comes to the start of the tournament, because this is something that we've never done before. This is a first time thing, made history, and it's amazing to be a part of. But for me, it's playing, it's enjoying, and it's being part of something that I feel valued and making my name again. Because I feel like I had kind of a stature about myself. You know, I was doing really well. Kind of with everything that went on, kind of out of sight, out of mind a little bit. And now I'm really determined, which is why I'm in pre-season now, to really come in with like all guns blazing, ready to go and kick off the new season well.
Well, Laura, it's great to talk. We've been over so many important messages in football, from being open to talking, coming back from injury.
Yeah.
I can feel you're ready to go.
Oh, I am. I can't wait. I'll give you a game on that after.
Listen, we'll see. This is the most difficult thing you're going to do pre-season.
No way.
Me and you head to head at Soccer Social.
We'll let the evidence do that talking for us.
She's calling me out already. Well, no, Laura, thanks for talking.
No, thank you for having me. Thanks.